I'll call this meeting to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you all for attending our business meeting tonight. Roll call, please.
Benson. Here. Brunick.
Here.
Sarda.
Here.
Hanoff.
Here.
Minor. Mosier.
Here.
Villanueva.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Mayor Schramm.
Here.
City Manager Leon.
Here.
City Attorney Denherter.
Here.
Thank you. Before you have the minutes of our last meeting of March 24th, 2025. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Thank you. Scheduled bills. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Move to pay the bills.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the bills? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mayor Schramm.
Aye. The bills will be paid. Moving on to the city manager's report. Amy?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the commission and public. Few things for you this evening. First of all, I want to talk to you about your agenda. If you'll take a look at consent item number 2, we have an error there. November 10th is a Monday. Veterans Day is November 11th. So we do not need you to reschedule the meeting of November 10th as it is written there. So all we'll be asking you to do on that item is reschedule the commission meeting that's regularly scheduled for May 26th, which is Memorial Day, to May 27th. So we apologize for that. We caught that this morning. Also, coming in late from the state under new business number 5, the temporary easement agreement for the South Dakota DOT Highway 50 bridge. They're not ready for that item quite yet, so they've requested that we put that on hold, and it may change slightly. So that I would request being pulled. But everything else on the agenda is as stated. Also want to bring to your attention a letter that I did pass out to you, which I'm happy to share with the public. We received today from the Department of Public Safety, and I think it's just probably not written as strongly as it could be, but what it is a letter, commissioners, talking about an allocation of $89,322.45. It's state and federal reimbursement for the administrative costs, so for staff time associated with the 2019 spring blizzard and flooding, if you'll remember that. So part of what was available to us, if we wanted to document time and staff dedication to the grant or the, I guess, funding from FEMA, we could do that, and we had to submit paperwork. Colleen Bailey worked really hard on that along with some of our staff in engineering and submitted that. So we did receive that. And the letter states that we need to make sure that all members of our governing body understand the restriction of these funds before they are banked or expended. They'll be direct deposited, I believe. So I'm not sure how we can do that, but I wanted to share that letter with you. There's nothing unusual about the restrictions or any of the terms, but I thought I should share that with the commission because they're saying that we're making sure that you understand. Well, if you never see it, it's hard for you to understand it. So that's what's before you there. If you have any questions, you can certainly let us know and we can answer those. In the next couple days, I'm sure we'll receive the funding. So please feel free to let Lisa or I know if you have any questions. A couple other things. Want to remind the commission, even though we do have another meeting, that we have our strategic planning session on April 30th. I have invited the newly elected commissioners to join us for that event will begin at 9 a.m. and we'll be getting the agenda together shortly. I'll make sure I share that with you so you can see that in advance. That will be held at the Mount Marty University Conference Room, so a different location. And we'll post notice of that as we do at any meeting of the commission. Want to ask, just for the record, I did send you all an email relating to the facade grant program. We had a request to reevaluate and investigate the facade grant program. Did not hear from any commissioners, so I wanted to see if anybody had an interest in evaluating or changing any of those measures. Okay. If not, then I'll just ask Lisa to make record of that, and I will return feedback to the citizen that requested that. If you haven't been to the Mead Building, you should go. The Mead introduced its Jefferson Peace Medal, which is on loan from a private donor, this Saturday. I didn't think it was something that I would be really interested in, but boy, is it interesting. You have to go, you really take the time to go see it. How rare it is fascinating, and the history behind it's fascinating, and they really have a world-class Lewis and Clark. It's going to make you want to go down the Missouri River or up the river and back. It's really something special to see, so I'm just excited about it, and we're partners with the Mead, and so if you're out there, please stop by. It was really cool. Thing to take a look at and learn about. I want to congratulate Commissioner Minor on a successful musical. That's why she's absent this evening. We'll fill her in, but by all means, another successful event that she's part of putting on. Also want to thank our emergency services. They had quite a fire call on Friday, as I understand it. Fortunately, everyone came out okay, but I think a reminder to everyone that, you know, the spring high winds and the burn bans that are on, they're on for a reason, and folks really need to be cognizant of that. It is and can be a dangerous time of year. Later on, we're going to honor the telecommunicators who play a role in that as well, making sure they're communicating with our firemen. So we thank everyone involved with that. And that said, Mayor, our employee that's going to accept the telecommunications week gets off her shift at 6. So I'm going to keep an eye. Oh, she's here. Jen Pulsma's here, so we don't have to wait for her. So that's all I have, unless there's questions for me.
Any questions for the city manager?
Amy, any update on city cleanup?
I don't have the tonnage yet. Our crews are still working on some last-minute things. You might notice if you're driving in a neighborhood, an item or two. I noticed there's a refrigerator, for example. That's left there because we don't take certain items. So we will notify the property owners if they don't remove those on their own. But I think that we had a fair amount of material out, although I do feel like it's less and less every year. But when we do have the tonnage numbers and we'll compare it to previous years, we'll make those available to you guys and to the public. A reminder that Household Hazardous Waste is May 3rd. That's an event where you take your materials to the transfer station and there is a fee. More information on our website.
Those, we didn't have any rain, so those couches that didn't get all soaking wet weigh a lot less now than they did last time. Thank you, Amy. All right, moving on to something fun that we get to do as the city commission is proclamations. Now it's the proclamation season, the last few meetings. So we have 3 on the agenda tonight. So bear with me as I read through these, but we did take pictures already with, for Arbor Day and for the Lab Professionals Week. So after I read the third one, the Telecommunicators Week, we'll probably get a picture real quick, Jen. But so first up is the Arbor Day proclamation. Whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world with the city of Yankton celebrating its 42nd year of being a Tree City, USA, and whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce living oxygen and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. Now, therefore, I, Mason Schramm, Mayor of the City of Yankton, do hereby proclaim April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the City of Yankton. I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands, and urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. All right. I don't think, do you want to say anything, Todd? Oh,
Todd, do you know where you're planting the tree this year? Usually every year you plant a tree is tied to this. I'm just curious where and when.
Steph didn't let you off the hook.
It's going to be a disappointing answer. Lisa has not shared with me, so I do not know where we're planting this year. But we'll put it in a PSA in the paper and invite the public, and usually some media shows up. Keep Yankton Beautiful members come, and so, yep, we'll post it on Facebook and in the media, and you'll know when I know.
Todd just mentioned Keep Yankton Beautiful. They have an event coming up. When is that? And if businesses or people want to sign up?
I believe it's the next day, isn't it not? Saturday,
think so.
April
The
20,
26th.
Saturday, April 26th is
Okay.
the Great American Cleanup. They Keep Yankton Beautiful does that every year. Normally, it always starts at, everybody gets together at the big shelter house in Fantle Memorial Park on the south side. I won't give a time because I probably would say it wrong, but I know it's early in the morning. Some people have already started, so I know there are people that cannot come on that Saturday. And so either individuals or groups and teams have been out in the community doing certain areas already. So there's some certain areas everybody knows that are a problem every year because of the wind, like we're having today. And I know Mount Marty women's basketball team is going to get involved because Mason had contacted us, and we're going to have them help on that Saturday cleaning out the Martin Creek corridor. Again, every year, it doesn't, the wind's just terrible for that creek corridor. But anyway.
Perfect. Thank you, Todd.
You bet.
All right. Moving on to our second proclamation is for the medical laboratory professionals. So, whereas the dedicated medical laboratory professionals at Sacred Heart Hospital, Yankton Medical Clinic, South Dakota Human Services Center, and the graduates of the Medical Laboratory Science program offered by Mount Marty University play a pivotal role in the health and well-being of our community, and whereas nearly 70% of all medical decisions are based on laboratory test results, underscoring the critical role these professionals play in providing the precise, reliable data necessary for accurate diagnosis, treatment planning, and patient care. And whereas these skilled individuals perform critical diagnostic testing, analyze vital health data, and deliver timely, accurate results that inform healthcare providers in delivering effective patient care, and whereas their tireless efforts behind the scenes are often unsung, yet their expertise is indispensable in the fight against diseases, the monitoring of chronic conditions, and the promotion of overall health and wellness. And now, therefore, let it be proclaimed that we extend our deepest gratitude and appreciation to the laboratory professionals at Sacred Heart Hospital and Yankton Medical Clinic, as well as to the educators and students of the MLS program at Mount Marty University for their dedication to healthcare excellence and their vital contributions to our community. Let us all join together in celebrating the week of April 20th through 26th as Medical Laboratory Professionals Week and applauding these outstanding professionals for their service and commitment. Yes, please, if you have a few words you want to say to us, please come to the podium. Thank you.
I'm Kay Rasmussen. I am a medical laboratory scientist. I'm currently assistant professor in the biology department at Mount Marty. Mayor and council members, I want to thank you for the proclamation and recognizing the dedicated laboratory working professionals here in Yankton. And I want to thank all of my colleagues, the laboratory professionals, for being here to view the sign of this proclamation. Many people may not see what happens behind the scenes in hospitals and clinics, but every day in every lab there are highly trained professionals who are essential to patient care. Laboratorians are the ones testing and analyzing the blood and other samples to provide the answers that doctors will need to diagnose, treat, and monitor disease. Right here in Yankton, we are fortunate to have exceptional lab teams at Sacred Heart Hospital, the Yankton Medical Clinic, and the South Dakota Human Services Center. With our medical laboratory science degree offered at Mount Marty University, we are educating the next generation of medical laboratory scientists. The future is indeed bright. This week and every week, I hope we can all take a moment to recognize and appreciate the unseen but vital work done in our laboratories by our laboratorians. Thank you so much.
Okay, and our third and final proclamation for this evening is for the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require law enforcement, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of law enforcement, firefighters, and emergency medical personnel is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property, and whereas the safety of our law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency medical personnel, and other responders is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who contact the Yankton Dispatch Center. And whereas public safety telecommuters are the first contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas public safety telecommuters are the single vital link for our law enforcement officers, firefighters, emergency medical personnel, and other responders by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety communicators, are at the Yankton Dispatch Center have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients, and each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Therefore, I, Mason Schramm, Mayor of the City of Yankton, do hereby proclaim the week of April 13th through 19th, 2025 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Yankton in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe. If we'll just step over to the background, we'll take a picture quick.
I did prepare everything. I mean, it's a great group of people and community support's always appreciated. So thank you.
While you're making your way back to your seat, I do believe that we just received a recognition as being the 5th best dispatch center in the state. So that speaks to the quality of their training, the quality of the people, and the quality of the equipment that you've invested in the dispatch center so that they can do their jobs, not just for the city, but also within the region. So that's a special thing, and they're all too humble to talk about themselves that way, but they're fantastic. No one wants to call 911, but if you do, there aren't better professionals in the business as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you, Amy. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
You mind if I make a quick comment?
Yeah, please.
Thank you so much. Jen, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart as a fellow first responder. Thank you to all the dispatchers, the men and women in that office. Your professionalism is amazing. I've been through there, and again, you are the first link in that chain of survival, and really appreciate what you do for all of us first responders. Thank you.
All right, moving on to public appearances. This is a time for someone from the public to appear before us to speak about something that is not on the agenda. Yeah, please, if you guys want to take off, you don't have to stick around. But thank you for coming. Okay. Yep, looks like we got a couple, so. Okay, and which please try to limit the time to about 3 minutes if you can, and then we will, we can take that under consideration and give it to the staff and take it further after the comments.
Okay. Well, nice to meet you and address you, City Council. I'm Michael Strom, a local resident of Yankton, South Dakota. I would like to pitch the idea of a community farm. Back in the 70s, I know over by HSC, we used to have one ran by the inmates, and the food was provided for the inmates. And I know the dairy farm that is still located there has been purchased by the 4030 Foundation, but there is state land around there. And I know also back in the 70s, right where Fox Run used to be, they also farmed that. So it's an old idea in a modern world, and I think we should go back to it. What we would need to do is zone, designate the land, and probably put up signage, some security cameras, and probably a logbook and a fence, obviously, to keep the animals in. My idea is that anyone in the county can buy an animal, tag it, and now we'll have a place to raise it. And that would be fresh food for us and the generations to come. And I really like this idea because we'll be able to teach our children and our children's children how to clean, feed animals, and nurture them. And in doing so, I'm hoping that when they learn this, they'll be able to treat other people with respect because they know how to respect other living creatures. So that's my idea right now. And then also about the old Brokaw Trail, we should just set up some wind traps to catch all the garbage and just rake it on in and throw it away. That'd be a nice idea, so thank you.
Thank you for your appearance. And please state your name and your address.
Okay, I'm Deanna Huther, I'm from Ballin, and I tried to make it to the last meeting, but apparently they went from 7 o'clock to 6 maybe. Are they all gonna be at 6 o'clock now?
Yes, they were moved to 6 now.
Okay, I was in here October 28th, I think, of 23 to try and purchase some railroad property that lied within my mom's in the town of Ballin. And I was told that you guys were gonna check into talking with Ballin before making a decision to leave my contact information here with you, so I did that night, but I haven't heard from anybody. So I was wondering what had become of that.
At the staff level, we were working on trying to clean up the property a little bit first. So it is not currently presented for sale. So as it stands now, it's city-owned property, and we're working on, in fact, I've got a meeting tomorrow to discuss cleaning all the vehicles out of there.
Okay, but wouldn't that be discussed with me? I mean, because since it lies within my mom's property, because I'm the guilty one that put the barn there 20 years ago. So the barn's still standing there, so.
I just
don't I have
leave
to
it,
move
we
that
can,
too?
we can chat about that tomorrow if you'd like, but I would leave you with this. If there's any of your or your family's property on the city's property, you're free to come get it as soon as possible.
Well, I don't know where that is, because they said that we needed to survey it. The lady that
We'll
talked about
talk,
it last.
we can talk about it tomorrow.
Where's that at then?
Yeah, if you got a pen and a paper, I can give you my number quick.
Okay,
665-0494.
0594.
665-0494. Happy to chat with you about that tomorrow.
Okay, your name is
Ross Denherter.
the attorney.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you.
Is there any other member of the public that would like to address the city commission on something that's not on the agenda? Seeing some heads shake, no? All right, then we will move on to the consent item agenda. As stated in the city manager's remarks, we need to adjust, just so you know, number 2, we're going to strike that the November 10th meeting be moved to November 11th.
Mayor
because-
Schramm, I'd actually like to move consent item 2 to the regular agenda because I have a couple of discussion points on that item.
Okay,
As you know, consent items are by definition without discussion.
correct. Okay, then we will move that to the new number 1, please. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Hanoff. New business 0, okay. All right, so our consent agenda then has 1 item, setting the date for the strategic planning meeting. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay. The consent item agenda is approved. Moving on to old business, there is no old business, and so we will proceed to new business. So item number 0, first item on the new business agenda is the dates for the upcoming city commission meetings. Commissioner Hanoff?
Thank you. I had 2 discussion points, but the city manager already addressed one of them, which is the Veterans Day is going to be on November 11th, so we don't need to change that meeting. I did want to talk about Native American Day, though. 35 years ago, South Dakota became the first state in the U.S. to officially recognize and celebrate Native American Day as an official holiday. And that date this year is Monday, October 13th, and we would have a meeting. On October 13th, the cities of Aberdeen, Brandon, Brookings, Huron, Madison, Mitchell, Pierre, Rapid City, Sioux Falls, Spearfish, Watertown, and many others will be closed in honor of Native American Day. We're the only Class A city that will not be closed. I hope to change that someday, but I've not yet been successful, so I would like to at least in some small way honor that holiday by moving our October 13th meeting to Tuesday, October 14th.
So that'd be, you're asking we move it to the 14th? I'm sorry, I missed that date.
Right, we did that
Okay.
last year. I'm
Yep.
just asking us to do the same thing we did last year.
And that's fine for staff if it pleases the commission.
I was just conferring with city attorney that we don't need to do anything different other than adding it to this item. If that's the pleasure of the commission, that's correct. So was that a motion, Commissioner Hanoff?
Yes, I would move then that we reschedule 2 meeting dates for 2025, move May 26th to May 27th in recognition of Memorial Day, and move October 13th meeting to October 14th in honor of Native American Day.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second on that?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the commissioners? Anything from the public? Okay, roll call.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye. Motion carries. Now moving on to item number 1, consideration of memorandum 25-64 recommending that the commission award the cold applied plastic pavement marking installation contract to Sir Lanes-A-Lot. Really?
Yeah, I want you to wrap that though, Mayor. Could you wrap?
Sir Lanes-A-Lot of Harrisburg in the amount of $107,246.40. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Roll call.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Moving on to item number 2, consideration of memorandum 25-65, recommending that the commission approve a sidewalk cafe permit to 100 West 3rd Street, which is the Walnut Tavern, Inc. What is the pledge of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Item number 3 is consideration of memorandum 25-66, recommending that the commission approve resolution 25-15 regarding the purchase of a Protector Evidence drying cabinet with accessories from Arrowhead Forensics in the amount of $10,780.79. This purchase is funded by a grant awarded by the South Dakota Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program for the Yankton Police Department Investigations Division. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Did I read correctly that we're purchasing that first and then we get reimbursed? Is that correct?
That's how I understand the grant to work, correct?
Okay. Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Moving on to item number 4, consideration of memorandum 25-67, recommending that the commission award the Summit Street Water Main Replacement Contract to Masonry Components, Inc. in the amount of $332,290.65. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item? Anyone from the public? Okay, roll call.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. As you recall, we removed item 5 from the new business agenda, so moving to item 6. Consideration of memorandum 25-69, recommending that the commission adopt resolution 25-16 and authorize the sale of or disposal of Yankton Police Department surplus property. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. Anyone from the public? Roll call.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
And Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Item 7 is consideration of memorandum 25-70, recommending that the commission approve a special on-sale malt beverage retailer's license and a special on-sale wine retailer's license for one day, May 17th, 2025, from the center. This event will take place at the center. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any from the public? Roll call.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. Item 8 is consideration of memorandum 25-71, recommending that the commission approve a special on-sale malt beverage retailer's license and a special on-sale wine retailer's license for one day, July 11th, from the center for an event that's taking place at the center. What is the pleasure of the commission?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? And from the public? Roll call.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. And our final item under new business is number 9, consideration of memorandum 25-72, recommending that the commission approve a special on-sale liquor license for one day, July 19th, 2025, from Mojo's for an event that will take place at the Boathouse. What is the pleasure of the commission?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? From the public? Roll call.
Weber.
Aye.
Benson.
Aye.
Brunick.
Aye.
Sarda.
Aye.
Hanoff.
Aye.
Mosier.
Aye.
Villanueva.
Aye.
Mayor Schram.
Aye, motion carries. This concludes the new business section of our agenda. Moving on to future business, is there anything from the commissioners they'd like to bring up at this time? Seeing no mics pop on, I would like to adjourn this meeting into executive session. To do so, I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adjourning to executive session, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Oh, and that is adjourning for contractual and personnel matters, just so we're clear. We have a motion second. Everyone said aye, so we are adjourned into executive session. Thank you.